We Hindus believe
He is the driving factor behind cow slaughter.
and Northeast is free to eat the cow. They call it cow, but it is not a cow.
What sort of a logic is this?
The one who is consuming milk is actually very much guilty of getting the animal slaughtered as well. The milk industry and the meat industry are hand in glove. Yeah, they are in tandem. And one really cannot be without the other. That is the case in India, and that is also the case worldwide. And what is it that is keeping beef affordable? It is milk consumption.
Because it's in circulation.
Because it's in circulation. You see, you have an asset. If the only thing that you can have from it is its flesh, then you will be required to firstly raise it to its maximum weight, and then you get only one thing from it. What? Its flesh. Flesh in certain kilograms. Whereas if that animal becomes perpetually protected for you over a range of 5 to 7 years, and then as the final end product it gives you its flesh as well, then it's a far more lucrative proposition. So take away milk from the equation, and even beef consumption would drastically fall for purely economic reasons. The economics would not remain sustainable anymore. So it's the milk consumer that has to realize
That he's a driving factor.
that he is the driving factor behind cow slaughter. On the contrary, the milk consumer loves to take a morally high position and wants to command terms to others. The best way to love the cow is to stop drinking her milk.
Yeah, so that is accurate. And in this video, I'll not talk about veganism and rights violation of these animals. Even if I talk about the vegetarians and their mindset, like he said, some vegetarians who take the moral high ground of not consuming animal flesh and call themselves as pure vegetarians by not consuming beef but rather drinking milk. So there are few things which I would like to highlight. One, I think vegetarians in response to this video can say that they are also against consumption of beef or killing these animals for production of beef. So that, like he said, is a flawed concept. Even if we think about just economics, how do you expect the dairy farmer to continue their business if they have to take care of the cow or the buffalo once they stop giving milk? They stop giving milk at the age of around 10 or sometimes 9, 10, 11 in that range, right? Because they are subjected to continuous cycles of pregnancy and they live up to the age of 20 years. So how will that dairy farmer take care of such a big animal? What will the dairy farmer do with the male calves? So the unit economics just doesn't work, and hence there has to be an exit mechanism for these animals for the business to be sustainable. So that is the first point. Another pointer that some of these vegetarians will give is that the beef production and also the beef export, because India happens to be one of the largest beef exporters in the country, is happening for the buffaloes, as in the buffaloes and these Jersey cows that are slaughtered, not the indigenous cows, because it is the indigenous cow which has a technical name called Bos indicus. They are the ones who hold religious value for them. So they can also give this rationale that it is fine to kill buffaloes and the hybrid cows.
You talk about cow slaughter, sir. Yeah. Sir, you are in power in all the northeast states. Can you please bring a bill in over there? Why are you not doing it?
I'll tell you.
Please do it, sir.
I'll tell you. You have repeatedly said this many times. We Hindus believe that the breed called Bos indicus is the sacred cow. The cow in Northeast is Bos taurus. We have no reason to protect them. And Bos indicus is the only breed that we shall protect as sacred, and Northeast is free to eat the cow. They call it cow, but it is not a cow.
What sort of a logic is this? Are you telling me that our God is fine with killing of buffaloes and the hybrid cows and not the indigenous cows? Like, what sort of logic is that? I mean, if you are giving that logic, that just shows your stupidity, nothing on behalf of the Almighty. I mean, that is as ridiculous as it can get. That has no logic whatsoever. Another point that people give is that in India we have cow shelters, and that is the gaushalas where these cows are taken care of. Again, they take in only the Indian origin cows, and even they have limited capacities. That is why you'll always see stray cows in India, not stray buffaloes, because the dairy farmers and the butchers know that there's repercussion associated with killing and slaughtering of cows depending on which state they are in, and hence the cows are left on street where they consume plastic and die. We often hear about these cases, right, where the cows consume plastic and pass away. So even the gaushala option and the cow shelter option, that's not a practical option. Just on the basis of unit economics, it just doesn't work, because they are subjected to pregnancy every year and the population is increasing at that much rapid pace. These gaushalas, they don't have the capacity. They need to get rid of the older ones, and how will they do so? And then another point which a lot of people will give, which is essentially an imaginary situation that they have created for themselves, which often starts with, in my village, I have a dairy farmer who has like a small scale dairy farm, and that person gives to me, and I know that they are treating their cows and buffaloes well. These kind of narrative which people have told just to themselves, an ideal perfect world scenario which is far from reality. If you go to that dairy farmer, if you go to your village, just observe the number of cows or the buffaloes that they have, and then also observe the sex ratio. Most of them would be females and most of them would be fertile, that is they would still be giving milk. If they have been in business for, let's say, 10 years or so, then the question that needs to be asked is that where are the older ones? Where are the young male calves? They will always have a limited number of cows or buffaloes who are producing milk. How's that possible? Again, I keep saying this, but that is the reality, that if pregnancy is happening every year, then the population should explode. So if the population is increasing every year, then why do they have limited number of cows? That is a question that needs to be answered for you to arrive at the truth. So I fail to understand that people who call themselves, these terms like proud Sanatanis and proud Hindus, they need to introspect on this. Sanatan Dharma is all about seeking the truth. One needs to be a seeker to call themselves a true Sanatani. You should find the truth. Seek what the reality is by visiting these dairy farms instead of creating false illusion for yourself to consume milk. Like Acharya Prashant said in this video, it's one single supply chain where at every step the objective is to optimize production. So the dairy industry subsidizes the beef industry. Dairy industry, beef industry, leather industry, they are all part of one single supply chain. So if you are consuming dairy product, you are contributing to the beef industry and the leather industry. It is a fact. So my humblest request to you is that if you think that you love cow, then please learn more about this and stop consuming dairy products. Thank you so much. And until we meet again, this is Shivam signing out. Namaste.